with our No Huddle segment. Okay, we're gonna hit a bunch of different topics real quick, and basically talk about them. 'Cause I don't think they deserve their own like segment by themselves. All right, so during the No Huddle segment today, we're gonna start off with Tua. All right, Tua. I don't have his exact quotes, but we all know in his post game conference after the loss to the Chargers, he basically was talking about the leadership on the team. He was talking about players not coming to meetings and being late for meetings, basically snitching on the whole organization after he didn't play too hot himself. So, fellas, how do y'all feel about Tua's comments after that Chargers game? Real you up?
Tua, man, we've been talking about you all year for the wrong reasons, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I keep on telling you, you signed that gigantic contract and you have not been playing up to your standards. But Tua, you shouldn't have been calling out anybody else but yourself in that press conference. You as a quarterback, you as a leader, you have a C on your jersey. A C. That means captain. That means leader. You need to be in the locker room telling these guys this. You need to be calling these guys phone, texting. You need to be in the locker room being a leader, being vocal, not calling them out in the press conference. Especially because if you go and look at everything that you did this year, Tua, your PFF grade is 63.2. You have 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 13 sacks, 3 fumbles, and in 6 games, you're 1-5 and you have 1,200 passing yards. In 6 games, you have 1,200 passing yards. That means you're averaging 200 passing yards a game, and you have one of the best masterminds in the NFL. You have one of the best offensive weapons in the NFL. We see it every week with Devon Achane. We see it every week with Jalen Waddle. Before Tyreek Hill got hurt, like you have a really good offense. And I tell you about all those interceptions he's had and all those fumbles he's had. They lost to the Patriots by a touchdown. If he doesn't throw those interceptions, they maybe win that game. They lost to the Bills by 2 scores. If he doesn't throw those clutch interceptions, they win that game. They
Yep.
lost to the they lost to the Panthers by 3 points. If he doesn't turn over the ball, they win that game. They just lost to the Chargers by 2 points. If he doesn't throw 3 INTs, I promise you they win that game. That's 4 games I just said. So like they're 5-1. If they're 5-1, if Tua doesn't throw all those interceptions. So Tua, you are the reason the Dolphins are bad. Call yourself out next time you get on that podium.
Facts. I agree. Jared.
Yeah, Rell just gave y'all all the facts, all the statistics about it, but I'm just gonna put it like this: Tua's bad, and this season we're just like we're all. This season's just highlighting what we've all seen. Like we've all seen in the past. Yes, Tua is very up and down, but we always knew that he has a turnover problem. Well, this season he's just down, and the turnover problem continues. It's really ridiculous, and then the fact that you got there and you blame other people for what you're doing, like it doesn't, it's not a good look on himself, it's not a good look on the organization. You're about to get your head coach fired, who I don't think is the problem. It's just the team that he's on. So yeah, like Tua just needs to do a better job, honestly. And like Rell said, you have that C on your jersey, but you're not owning up to it. You're not you're not carrying yourself in the way of a captain. So Tua just needs to be better, period, point blank. And that's something that if I'm in the organization, if I'm the head coach, if I'm the GM or the owner, I'm going to pull him to the side. I'm going to have a conversation about that because it's just not a good look for the organization. Calling out players, like, that's just not throwing your team under the bus. It's not a good look, and it shows the divide that there is in the organization.
Yeah, so y'all just basically said everything that need to be said about Tua, but I want to push this to the NFL. Like we are living in a time now where these players gonna go to that mic and say whatever they want. They don't care about the repercussions from it, or they don't care about nothing that comes after what they say. Like we've seen this year, Tua did what he did, right? We saw Cam Ward say what he said about his team, right? We saw what AJ Brown been saying about his teammates. Like we're seeing all these players come out and just say what they want to say when they're not thinking about what can happen after that. Like Tua, you have to understand when you say stuff like that, not like Mike McDaniel is probably going to get fired anyways, but all you did was sped up the process. Now it's faster. Like my franchise, the guy I just paid all his money to is complaining about the leadership in the organization, right? That falls under the coach. He's complaining about players coming late to the meetings. That means the coach not holding the players accountable. Like all of this points back at Mike McDaniel. And Mike McDaniel came out the next day and said he don't think that should have been said at that moment. You're right. It should not have, right? Cam Ward came out and said about his team. Basically said they booty. That's what he said. I'm gonna say it for all the kids listening right now. He said they booty. He said that a couple weeks ago, right? As a franchise QB, you can't come out and say that about your team. Like even I know this. You should come out and be like, "Hey, we're not where we want to be right now. But we're gonna keep working. Right? We're gonna keep working. We're gonna get there eventually. Right? Things not looking good, but it's bright days ahead. Something like that. Don't just come out and say what you're thinking. And then AJ Brown talking about how, oh, I don't talk to Jalen Hurts on the sideline. They said when Jalen Hurts overthrew him, right? When he started running his route against the Broncos, they said, "Hey, did you talk to Jalen Hurts after the play?" No, I didn't. It's already turmoil in that locker room, but you're gonna say what you want to say. And then Saquon and Jay Hurts said they had a little players only meeting. They asked AJ Brown about it. Guess what he said? I don't recall a meeting. Like, what are you doing? Like, mute your mic. Everybody just mute their mic. We need to stop having press conferences because they just saying what they want to say. All right. So it's not just Tua, it's the whole entire league, man. They just talking crazy during press conferences, and I don't get it. All right. Next up, the Steelers. All right. 4-1. Right? 4-1 Pittsburgh, number one in the AFC North, right? Are we buying stock in Pittsburgh? So I already talked about them a little bit during my tiers. So Rell and Jerrick, tell me, are y'all buying stock in Pittsburgh? Rell, you up?
Uh, buying stock, like as in buying stock, do you mean like buying stock as they're gonna make the playoffs or like they're gonna make a Super Bowl run? Because like we've
Mm-hmm.
seen the Steelers start off hot before like this. We've seen Mike Tomlin have a good team and they start off real hot and then like they just fall down. And I know you guys think I'm probably hating on you. I promise you I'm not hating on you. I
No,
promise.
you're right. You're
It's
right.
just it's just facts. It's just facts.
No
In
doubt.
2017, yes, so you guys went 13-3. You started off really hot, like 10-0 that year. Then you guys lost in the divisional round. Like in 2017, that's way back when with AB and them. Like y'all were really, really hot with Mike Tomlin, you know? Fast forward to 2020, we remember how this year goes. Y'all started the year off 10-0, a great year. Then we fast forward, y'all lost in the wild card round to the Browns. Like that was a huge underdog upset win. Then we talk about last year. Last year, the Pittsburgh Steelers were a really, really good football team. They broke down towards the end of the year. I want to say week 13. Don't quote me on this. Week 14, 15, 16, 17. I want to say they lost those games. They went into the playoffs like 0-4,
I think
0-3,
we lost
something
six
like that.
straight. I think it was six straight. I think.
Oh yeah, 6 straight. So
I
we
think it was.
seen you just heard them. They lost 6 straight and they ended the season off 10-7. So if they lost 6 straight, that means they were 10-1 last year at one point. Like we seen the Steelers team get hot. Please, y'all, please do not buy stock in this team. They're going to be a wild card exit. I just don't think they have enough in the tank to go get it done. It's going to be a long season. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. The benefit of the doubt. Aaron Rodgers been looking good. The defense been looking good as it always does the first 10 weeks. But we got to see if it's gonna be able to sustain. That's what we're gonna have to see. And
Facts.
and these guys will tell you.
Everything you said was factual. There's no, and what we call this show, straight to the point, right? We ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. Say how you feel. You know what I'm saying? So, Jared, try to be as non-biased as you possibly can, and tell me, are you buying stock in Pittsburgh?
I am buying stock in Pittsburgh, but I'm buying stock in Pittsburgh in the sense of on this show, we all had the expectation of the Steelers to either be like they were last year, get a winning record, lose first round of the playoffs, or get one or two playoff wins. Nobody on this show expected them to even be in Super Bowl conversations. So I'm buying stock in the fact that I do believe that they're going to get a playoff win this year. In the first 6 weeks of football, we see a pretty good football team. It's gotten better every single week. Watching every single game, there's games where the defense was struggling in the beginning. In the beginning, there's a point where in the Patriots game, we couldn't get a third down stop to save our lives. Now the defense looks a lot better. The offensive line, they're progressing, but a part of what's making the offensive line look better is Aaron Rodgers. Having a guy back there that can get the ball out of his hands real fast, that can make the pre-snap reads, that knows where the ball is going to go when the ball is snapped. And I think that's really the determining factor in the difference between this team and all the teams in the past. Since 2017, that was probably the last time that we had a team with a quarterback that we considered to be playing good football. After 2017, Ben gets hurt. He hurts his elbow. His career goes downhill from then. He's washed. And then we draft Kenny Pickett. We sign Mr. Trubisky. We play Mason Rudolph. We sign Russell Wilson. We sign Justin Fields. That's been our QB play since 2017. It's been a washed Ben or it's been bad quarterbacks. Now we finally have a quarterback that is good. He's not washed. He's showing this. He's proven this to y'all. He is the reason why we are 4-1. Like, there's a sense of ease that comes over me whenever I watch my offense because I don't have to worry about Aaron Rodgers turning the ball over. I don't have to worry about him sitting back there and taking a bunch of sacks because he knows what to do with the ball and where to go. So I am going to buy stock in this team just for the simple fact that, as always, we have a defense that is really good and they're going to continue to get better. But now I have a quarterback that I can depend on and rely on to help us win a football game. It's no longer just defense needs to get the job done. Our quarterback and our offense can make plays as well. And I do believe that we will make a move to get a wide receiver too, to get another weapon. And you add on to this offense that's already looking pretty good. Things can only go up from here. So I'm buying stock.
Yeah, so I want to say something real quick, one thing. And I want to emphasize what you said about Aaron Rodgers. Like, he has 3 games this year where he has more than 1 passing touchdown. I cannot tell you the last quarterback we had that in the first 6 weeks had 3 games where he had more than 1 passing touchdown in those games. Like, Aaron Rodgers is top 10 in passing touchdowns this year. Nobody would have thought that going into this year because the notion was he's washed. He can't play no more. He's old. He's showing y'all he still got something left in the tank. He just needs a team around him that can actually do some of the dirty work at times. The defense is making it very easy on Aaron because Aaron ain't got to go out there. Like what you saw in week 1, I was concerned a little bit. I know it was week 1, but he had to throw 4 touchdowns. That's not going to happen every single week. And the defense was looking pretty bad. Defense looked bad against Seahawks, right? But the defense has gotten better. So now Aaron Rodgers, I'm way more comfortable now because he doesn't have to put up those crazy numbers that he did in the beginning of the year, right? So Aaron Rodgers looked good. And when I say buy stock, to answer Rell's question, I don't mean like going to the Super Bowl because, like Jerrick said, that wasn't none of our expectations for this team. But I told y'all going into this year, what will make this season a success is if we get a playoff win. If we don't, then the Aaron Rodgers signing was for nothing. The Jalen Ramsey trade was for nothing. The DK Metcalf trade was for nothing. We didn't make these moves to just go to the playoffs and lose again, right? You have to win a playoff game at least. And as of right now, the way it sits, there's only 2 teams that I'm scared of to play in the playoffs, to be honest with you. And it's really just the Chiefs and the Bills still. Outside of them, if we play anybody else, I am expecting us to win. And we better win. There's no other team we should be losing to that's in the playoff picture right now outside of those top 2 teams. That's just how I see it right now. So, yes, I am buying stock just so they can do what I said they would do, and that is just win a playoff game this year. All right, but there's another team in the AFC that is a little controversial right now. Are we liking it? Are we buying in? Y'all heard what I said. I said they're on fraud alert. So I'm gonna see what the fellas think. All right, are we buying stock in the Indianapolis Colts led by Indiana Jones? Real. Are you buying stock?
Uh, yes, sir. I'm definitely gonna buy stock into this coach team. And let me tell you why you guys should. Uh, this Shane Steichen team is looking really, really good. It's making me think that Anthony Richardson was the problem because I'm looking at Alex Pierce be really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Downs be really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Warren be really, really good, looking like a great first round pick. Michael Pittman be really, really good. And I think we're forgetting Jonathan Taylor was an offensive player of the year winner a couple years ago. Like
Yeah.
that guy is really, really good, and he's back on the same pace. Like he's back on that same game. Like, and I want to say Daniel Jones is opening it up. The last time we seen the Colts with a really good quarterback, the last time we seen Jonathan Taylor with a really good quarterback was Phillip Rivers, and they went to the playoffs. Like I'm telling you, this Colts team is legit, and I saw it last week. Like this team knows how to win, and like man, like this offense, they're top 5 in every single offensive category. Like this is a really good team. The defense is looking extremely good. They're the 4th ranked total defense. This is a really, really good team, and their division isn't that good. I think the Jaguars will easily fall off. The Texans have not been that hot, and like we're going to see like they have some very tough tests coming up. They got to play the Chargers this week. Then in 2 weeks they got to play the Steelers. So we're gonna see about all these tests, but the main reason I'm telling you this team is that and is legit is because of Jonathan Taylor. Like my boy J Bess made a video earlier. Quentin Nelson is blocking his tail off, and Shane Steichen he knows how to run his offense. It's looking beautiful now. Indianapolis, y'all got some hope. Y'all got some hope now with the Pacers and the coach. Okay, Indy fans, I see y'all. I see y'all.
Yeah, so real quick before Jared go, so in the next couple games, they got the Chargers, they got the Titans, should be a win for sure. They got the Steelers, they got the Falcons, they got the Chiefs, they got the Texans, Then they got the Jaguars, Seahawks, 49ers. So it's not an easy schedule, right? So it's a couple teams in there that we got to see them beat to see if they legit. The Steelers, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the 49ers banged up, the Texans. So a pretty solid schedule coming up. So Jerry, are you buying stock in the Colts or not?
Uh, I'm actually gonna buy stock, but just because I don't think they're as fraudulent as we believe. I think that they are a pretty good football team, but of course they're not Super Bowl contenders. I would never fix my mouth to say, oh, they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl because they just don't. Just because I don't think it's not even about Daniel Jones being the Daniel Jones that we've seen before. It's just about Daniel Jones isn't the guy that, even the way he's playing right now, that's not a guy that's going to get you to the Super Bowl. We just know what it takes to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC because of how competitive it is, how much of high power offenses, and how much of good QB play it takes. But I'm going to buy stock just because I see this team winning their division. I do. I see this team over the span of the rough game stretch. They're going to lose some. They're going to win some. They're going to continue to compete. They're going to continue to play good football. It's just I'm buying stock because before the season, I didn't see this at all. Before the season, you tell me that they would be number one in the AFC right now if the playoffs started today, I would look at you like you're crazy. Just because of some fact that Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson was going to be a starting quarterback. And that's just like crazy to me that Daniel Jones led team can be number one in the AFC. So I'm going to buy stock. I think that they'll go to the playoffs. They might win one playoff game depending on their seeding. But other than that, I mean, I still don't have very high expectations for them. But I do think that they are a little bit above that fraudulent tier that we put teams like the Vikings or teams like the Chargers in, as opposed to the Colts who are playing really good football right now.
Yeah, so the only thing I'm gonna say about it, Gary talked about it, is that I'm still 50-50 on, not even 50-50. I don't trust Daniel Jones right now. The argument against him is his past, right? The argument for him is he in an offense where he just can't, like, he can't mess up? Is he in an offense where they gonna cover up his flaws the rest of the year? If that's the case, then this might be a team that go 2 rounds deep in the playoffs. Like that, it could be if they can cover up Daniel Jones' flaws. But I do think as the lights get brighter, as the season gets more difficult, I do believe the Daniel Jones of old is going to show up. I just believe it, which is why I cannot buy stock in this thing. All right, but next up, Jared, we're gonna let you go first on this one, man, because down in London, Justin Fields did not have a good day at all. Yeah, I mean, at all. Like, there was nothing you can look at in that game and say, "All right, Justin Fields, I see you." Let me pull up his stats real quick just to make sure I got the number right. All right, this man had, oh my goodness, I can't even say it. This man had 45 passing yards, guys. 45 passing yards. Never did I ever think I would be able to say that my two parents are older than the amount of passing yards you had in a football game. Never did I think I would be able to say that. All right, but Jared, this is your guy. So the question is, because we'll talk about Justin Fields, but the question is, should he be benched? Should Justin Fields be benched? Jared, talk about it.
Before I answer the question, I'm it's getting to a point where I can't make any more excuses. I just can't. We all know I'm a Justin Fields supporter since the Ohio State days. He got drafted to a bad Chicago organization. This is the first time that we've seen the Chicago Bears really orchestrate and build around a good, talented quarterback. And he went to the Steelers. He had a good little start. There was, still old Justin Field ways in those starts, which led him to being benched for Russell Wilson because Mike Tomlin believed Russell Wilson was the better option. And then he gets signed to the Jets. I didn't think this was a good move for Justin Fields personally, just because you're going to a team with there's nothing there in that team to, for example, what Daniel Jones has in Indianapolis, there's nothing of that sort in New York. There's nothing to cover up Justin Fields' flaws, and there's a lot of flaws when it comes to Justin Fields' game. Like there is. Like I just saw something where people are saying this is like the worst, best season when it comes to turnovers that we've seen out of a quarterback. He's thrown no interceptions. But that's not really a good thing because he's not trying to push the ball down the field. He's not trying to take chances, which is why he got benched in Pittsburgh, because we wanted Russell Wilson, who is not afraid to take that deep ball chance. 799 passing yards, 4 touchdowns on the year, a QBR of 36. on the season. Like it doesn't look good. It really doesn't. And like I'm not seeing overall progression. Does he look bad? No. But it just doesn't look good. I mean, in this past game, I'm gonna say it doesn't look bad just because look at what he has to work with. Okay, he has Garrett Wilson, who's a great wide receiver one. He has a pretty good running game. Brees Hall, he's running the heck out of football, but the O line's terrible. Outside of Garrett Wilson, I can't really name another target he's throwing to. I literally can't name another wide receiver on the team. I just can't, me personally. He got sacked 9 times in the Denver game, which it makes sense because Denver's defense is great, but he had 9 completions. He dropped back 17, like he had 17 passing attempts, but he got sacked 9 times. So that takes away from passing attempts, takes away from opportunities. I'm not trying to make excuses for him because I'm all out of excuses, but it's just a bad situation overall. But that being said, to answer the question, no, he should not be benched because this team isn't in a position where Tyrod Taylor is going to be a difference maker, let alone going to put them on a different trajectory. We know this team is rebuilding. We know they are. So this is the season where you find out if you want to continue on with Justin Fields or if you want to go another way. They didn't give Justin Fields a crazy contract. They didn't at all because they know that if he's not the answer, they're going to move on. So you need to keep Justin Fields in, see what he can do, and see if you want this to be your quarterback in the future because we know this won't be your head coach in the future. We know that. So is Justin Fields going to show us enough to where we say, okay, let's go get a great offensive mind, bring them in. Let's go get a Ben Johnson. Let's go get a Shane Steichen. Let's go get somebody that's going to make the game easier for Justin Fields. This is where you see it in this season. So no, he should not be benched, especially not for Tyrod Taylor, somebody who's past their prime. He's going to give you mediocre at best. No, just let Justin Fields ride the season out and make your decision from there.
All right, so he said, do not bench Fields right now. See if he's your guy for the future. Rell, are we benching Justin Fields? Yes or no?
I heard everything Jerry said, and I agree with him word for word. And nah, you can't bench Justin Fields. You 100% can't bench Justin Fields. And let me just tell you why you can't. Starting with this past week, um, whenever a defensive coordinator lines up and he says, "I'm gonna put my team in zero blitz. We're gonna blitz you every single play, and we're gonna just play man to man." That means your offensive coordinator just purely got outcoached. Like Denver's game plan was way better than your game plan, and that's just what it was. The Jets, before they fire Anthony Glenn, they might have to look at the coordinators. And I know Eric Glenn is a big part of that defense, but looking back to the past weeks, the Cowboys ran the ball all over the Jets. You guys had to start from behind. The Dolphins ran the ball all over you. A-Chain killed y'all. You had to start from behind. The Buccaneers did whatever they wanted to y'all. Bucky Irvin, Baker Mayfield, they did whatever they wanted. The Bills, James Cook ran all over y'all. The Steelers had a field day on y'all. Like the Jets are playing from behind, and then like they're making the game harder on Justin Fields. But like last week was just terrible, terrible, terrible. I think the first person we'll see fired is the Jets OC because like when they're not making it easier for Justin Fields, and that's what coaches are supposed to do. And I feel like Justin Fields is making the most out of his situation. We just heard Jerrick say he hasn't turned the ball over. Like, I mean, he hasn't thrown an interception. That's great. You're playing amazing football if you're not turning the ball over. He only has Garrett Wilson. Besides Mason Taylor, he does not have another receiver over 100 yards, and that's sad with 6 games played. So I'm telling you, trust me, this is not Justin Fields' fault. He did not look this bad in Pittsburgh last year. Like,
All right, so for me personally, like I'm so looking at the I've seen a couple of videos, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, and they have shown plays where Justin Fields is holding the ball too long, where he's not hitting the flat route immediately, he's not hitting the drag route immediately, and that can lead to sacks. So out of the 9 sacks, I don't know how many was on him, but a couple were, right? And that's problematic, especially when you're already on a not so talented offense. Right now, your offense is not that talented. So what you can't do is not know how to get the ball out of your hands quick. Because that can, so for example, Aaron Rodgers, for the most part, his offense, I know I'm talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback comparing to Justin Fields, but I'm looking at the situation. Yes, our offense is better, but I think both offenses has one dude. like one absolute stud. Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf. I think the rest of our supporting cast is better than the Jets. But at the end of the day, Aaron's getting the ball out fast. We're not sitting here dropping back trying to throw bombs and all that. Aaron is getting the ball out. And we have like one of the best offenses when it comes to yards after catch. That can benefit Justin Fields right now. Get the ball out of your hands, get it to your guys, let them go break tackles, like make the game easier for yourself versus trying to sit there and trying to see, okay, who's going deep, who's doing it. No, just dink and dunk and get your way down the field. But so I have seen a lot of film and a lot of tape on him not getting the ball out fast. But I'm gonna say this, y'all not gonna agree, but I think he has to get benched. And the reason why I'm saying he has to get benched is because Aaron Glenn got to fight for his life. Okay, Aaron Glenn, you got to show me that you're trying to fix the problem. And right now, the problem at right now, like at this very moment, is your QB play. At this very moment, because your defense actually looked pretty good in London, right? Your defense made Bo Nix look pretty bad, but your offense looked atrocious, right? So if I'm Aaron Glenn, I'm gonna just show y'all that look, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. Look, Tyrod, go in there, do what you can. Like I'm trying because if Aaron just sits here with Justin Fields, then it looks like he's not trying, and then that just leads to him getting fired faster. So to me, if I'm a coach under the hot seat, I'm gonna make the move just to show y'all I'm trying something. Like I'm 0-6, bro. We haven't won a game. We have not won one game. I told y'all last week he's the first Jets head coach to go 0-5. Now he's the first Jets head coach to go 0-6. Like he's in the record books for the wrong reasons, guys. And I think he just has to try to do something. Just make it look right. Do I fully think? Do I 100% think Justin Fields should be benched? No. But if I'm a coach, I know that look, it ain't gonna be too much longer until I get that phone call. Like I'm surprised they ain't leave his tail in London. Right? I'm shocked. I gotta at least show I'm fighting, dog. Show I'm fighting. Maybe Tyrod can see things that Justin don't see, and then maybe that can make it be like, okay, he made a good move right there. Maybe Justin is the guy. Maybe Aaron is the guy. All right, and last but not least, Tennessee Titans decided to fire Coach Brian Callahan after going 1-5 to start the year. Rell, what's your reaction to this news?
Uh, Man, it was about time. I feel like he was one of the ones who was getting swept under the rug. Like we weren't even really thinking about him as a firing, but he needed to get fired. He was 4-19 throughout his first 2 years. They didn't even let him finish his year, and the GM came out and said we didn't see any growth. Like we had a rookie quarterback who had a lot of upside coming out of college, and he should be way better than what he is right now. Um, Cam Ward's stats right now on the year, he has 3 touchdowns to 4 interceptions to 4 fumbles. So basically 3 touchdowns to 8 turnovers, which is terrible. And then we're going to talk about Will Levis, who was his quarterback last year. Last year, he tried to paint the picture that Will Levis was the problem and that Will Levis was the reason that they were 4-13. But throughout the 12 games that Will Levis played, Will Levis had 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and he fumbled the ball 10 times. So Brian Callahan obviously isn't teaching ball security at practice. He hasn't been preaching ball security. And like for you to be a head coach, maybe the results, like everybody knew the Tennessee Titans weren't going to be a good team. You guys just had the number 1 overall pick. We all weren't expecting Tennessee to go make a playoff run or anything, but we wanted to see growth. We wanted to see something exciting for the team. And Tennessee has not seen that yet. And the 2 quarterbacks that you got a chance to play with, Will Levis, who should have been a first-round pick, but slid to the second round, and then Cam Ward, who was a first overall pick, have looked terrible under you. Terrible. Terrible. Cam Ward is the 37th ranked quarterback right now. 37th. There's only 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. Yes, it was time to be fired. Yes.
Got you. Jerrick, let me know your reaction to this news. You're on mute, my boy.
My bad. I'm not shocked, but honestly, why did he get hired in the first place? That's where I want to start. He was in 2018. He was the quarterback coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. So we know that Derek Carr, I believe that's one of the years where Derek Carr played pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, I think that might be the year that Derek Carr got them to the playoffs. Maybe I don't know for sure, but we know that he had Derek Carr, QB coach for Derek Carr. Derek Carr's a pretty good quarterback. That's self-explanatory. Then he becomes the OC to the Cincinnati Bengals from 2019 to 2024. The Cincinnati Bengals offense wasn't good till 2021 when they got Joe Burrow. And he's just a product of Joe Burrow. Like, you can't tell me that last year he's responsible for Joe Burrow and that offense looking that good, because he's not. I can tell you that right now. Anybody can tell you that. Well, 2 years ago, the reason why that offense is so good, like, it's just Joe Burrow. It really is. Now you can say, I guess, maybe you want to say, oh, he made Jake Browning looked like a good quarterback the year that Jake Browning played, but no, like, he was blessed to be in a situation where he gets to coach Joe Burrow, gets to call plays to go to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Like, he had the easiest job in the NFL. You came from an OC job for a team that was just about offense to becoming the head coach for an organization that was in shambles. Like, honestly was. Mike Vrabel got fired. They've had two GMs get fired in the past 3 years. Like, this organization is just not good. And now you're making an offensive minded person your head coach with no pieces. Like, he has Calvin Ridley, who's an okay receiver. Like, we haven't been hyped up on Calvin Ridley since Atlanta days. Um, you gave him Will Levis. I'm not gonna lie, like, Will Levis was terrible. We all have to admit that. Will Levis was bad. Like, we saw some crazy plays from Will Levis that I never thought I'd see in my life. Like, exactly. That's literally what we think about when we think of Will Levis. So he's been like, I don't think he was ever the guy for the job, especially not this job. Like, this team has no future right now. Like, Cam Ward is their future, but they have no structure for their future, if that makes sense. And this was never supposed to be the hire, and he has nothing to work with. So I think that he did deserve to get fired, not necessarily because he's a bad coach, but it just isn't a good fit. And when it's not a good fit, both teams have to part ways. Like, I think he'll get an OC job somewhere. He might get a college football head coach job, and he might have success there. But for this Tennessee Titans situation, it just was not a good fit for him. So it was time to part ways. And if I was him, honestly, thank you. Pay me the rest of my check and get me gone, because he had nothing to work with there. So yeah, that was the right move by Tennessee to fire.
Bro said thank you. All right,
Hey,
so
Jerry,
go ahead,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to say right quick though, we seen Cam Ward make some goofy plays too this year, right? Like some
That is very
goofy
true.
plays. Like,
That's
it
very true.
obviously is something going on at practice. Like, obviously there's not enough discipline at practice going on, or like, I don't know. I've seen some goofy plays get made this year too. That's all
That's
I'm gonna say.
very true. I just think that's somewhat more so just because of, if you looked at Cam Ward's play style, like, I watched him all of his college season last year in Miami. If you just watch the way he played in college, his transition from college to the NFL, it's like it's being shown, because in college he was such a laid back, like, he was given so much time in the pockets. It just literally, there's clips of him standing there flat footed reading the defense. He doesn't have that same opportunity. Like, the game's at a much faster speed. So those growing pains, like, it was bound to happen for him, regardless of the coach that he had. And I get what you're saying. Yes, maybe his coach could have, like, helped him prevent himself from being in those situations, give him to adjust faster in practice. But it was just bound to happen just because of Cam Ward's play style. I see what you're saying.
So I believe that coaches, okay, I know the norm, and I'm gonna tell you what I believe. The norm is, if you're not looking good through the first about 7, 8, 6 weeks, right? Especially if you're like 0 and something or 1 and something, you're gonna get fired. Like, we see this year after year, right? That's the norm. But sometimes I don't understand you firing somebody. So, for example, the Titans. The Titans, we knew going into this year they was gonna be bad. Like, we knew it. Like, we knew this team was gonna be bad. Like, we've seen rookie quarterbacks come into organizations and, like, surprise everyone, take them to the playoffs. C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels, right? But I knew there was no chance Cam Ward could do it. And it's not even about Cam Ward. It's about the team he's going into. There's no bright spots on this team. Like, at least C.J. Stroud had a good defense, and he had Nico Collins, who was becoming a star, right? At least Jaden Daniels had Terry McLaurin with Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury. At least he had that. Like, there was nothing around Cam Ward to make this team even relevant, and forget getting to the playoffs to be even relevant. So you firing Brian Callahan, what is that doing for your organization? Is my question. For example, James Franklin getting fired in college. These college coaches getting fired after 6, 7 weeks. What is that doing for your program? I don't get it, because 9 times out of 10, I've only seen this happen once, where an interim head coach comes in and takes their team to the playoffs. And I want to say the one time I saw it with the Raiders, the year they lost to the Bengals in the first round, I want to say that's the year John Gruden had to leave because of the email thing. So John Gruden didn't get fired. He just got, accusations against him. He had to step away from the team. But there's no other situation where I've seen an interim come in and the team gets better and they end up going on a run and getting to the playoffs. To me, the season's over for the Titans. So why make this move when 9 times out of 10, your next hire is coming from outside the organization? So you might as well just let them finish the season out. Same way I feel about Aaron Glenn. Like if they go 0-7, you find Aaron Glenn, what's for what? Y'all season's over. Season's done. Nobody's gonna step in that role and make that team a playoff team or make that team more respectable. So it's across college and the NFL. Sometimes I look at it like, okay, they were doing a bad job, but what you fire them for? I mean, at this point, you would agree that all the bad teams, you want to kind of keep the bad record so you can get a good pick, right? You don't want to we don't encourage tanking, but at the end of the day, if you're gonna be bad, then just be bad so that you can get a good pick and maybe turn things around next year. So I get it. It's been bad, right? Last year was bad. This year is bad, but you might as well let them ride it out. That's just how I feel. Firing coaches in the middle or the beginning of the season to me just don't make sense unless you fully believe that the next guy up is going to turn things around and you're gonna make a little run. Nobody believes that whoever steps up. I believe it's Mike McCoy that stepped up. He used to be a head coach for the Chargers back when Philip Rivers was there, I think. Nobody believes he's gonna step in and then take this team to the playoffs. The team is just bad. So I just don't understand in-season coaching firings. I just don't. Unless it's coordinators. Now, coordinators, I get it, right? But when it comes to head coaches, I don't get it. So real quick, y'all tell me y'all quick take, like real quick on that. Like, do y'all understand the reason for in-season firings? Real.
No, sir. I, and as you just said, the homework is behind it too. Like you seen one team go to the playoffs after firing a head coach in the middle of the season. Like no, like in the locker room, that's all that's going to be talked about. On the field, that's all that's going to be talked about. And like, what can an intern coach really come in the middle of the season and change? Like, I just feel like that's a recipe for disaster. And the only way you do that is if you have plans on tanking. There's no way you fire a coach in the middle of the season and you plan on having a successful season that season. You just lost the locker room. Just know that.
Yeah, Jared.
I agree, especially because let's give these coaches an opportunity to turn it around. Like we've seen teams get not necessarily to get to the playoffs, and then like you said, they probably are doing it because they see that their head coach can potentially turn the season around. And let's just say they start winning games, they go on a 4-game winning streak to end the season. Now you're out of a top 3 draft pick. So they probably are doing this for tanking reasons, but I feel like just let the coach finish the season. Let him give the opportunity to try and give this team hope going forward. Like I said, the same thing with the Justin Fields situation. We got to see if this is our guy for the future. And I don't think benching somebody after 7 weeks or firing somebody after 7 weeks is going to help you with your future plan. But we do have a special case. The Raiders, 2 years ago, they fired Josh McDaniels, who was doing a terrible job, and they let Antonio Pierce take over. And just the vibe in the locker room was much different. It was like they Rell, you said like whenever you fire a head coach mid-season, you're losing the locker room. They actually gained the locker room. They regained the locker room. So I guess it just depends on the circumstances, and that's a special case. But other than that, I've never really seen a coaching firing in the middle of the season that ever really made sense. The only way that it would make sense is if that head coach is losing the locker room, and I don't hear where he was losing the locker room. I honestly don't. I never heard anybody come out and say bad things about him. So I don't know. So mid-season firings really don't make sense at all.
Yeah, those two examples that we brought up was like I said, John Gruden had to walk away from the team. He didn't get fired because the team was doing bad. Because that year they went to the playoffs with the special teams coach that stepped in. I remember the next year they was like, why did I give him the head coaching job? I think they gave it to Josh McDaniels, and then he ended up getting fired. And Antonio Pierce came in. They didn't go to the playoffs, but the vibes were better. So we've only seen it twice with the same organization. So I just don't get it in general. Once again, if you go, the team is bad already. Just let it fit. Let it ride out at this point. Because what's the point in making the move? All right. But let's get on to once again. This can be a fun segment, but this past week, this was ugly. This is the worst week we've had as a collective unit this year. Right, so just know it's never gonna get worse than this. Like this is
like and sub and leave a comment down below. Yo.